I just bought 5,000 mil specs with one goal, turn them into a knife. That means 5,000 mil specs becomes 500 restricteds, 50 classifieds, 5 coverts, and if Gaben is on our side, a Karambit Ruby, or maybe even a Butterfly Emerald. I spent over $1,000 on these inputs, so it's time to find out, was it worth it? Now, spoiler alert, I have actually done this challenge before, and it didn't go so well. I ended up with a pair of racing greens. So this time around, let me run this first contract as well. Boom, amber line, dead hand. This time around, I have not included any Revolution case fillers. There is no way in hell I'm letting myself get another Driver Gloves Racing Greens. It's just not going to happen. And because I know you guys love numbers like I do, gonna pop a little graph on the screen for you right now. That is the distribution of inputs. So if we hit the odds, we should end up with roughly 2 covert inputs from Dreams and Nightmares, 1 from Fever, 1 from Dead Hand, and then 1 from either Gamma, Chroma, or Spectrum, something like that. SkinSwap is giving you a skin worth up to $50 entirely for free when you complete your first trade using the link in the description. If you want to upgrade your loadout, you can trade your skins for brand new ones in just a few clicks. Plus, their market tab now includes the cheapest offers from Chinese marketplaces, so you can access the best skin prices without needing a Chinese ID or bank account. You can deposit using card, Cash App, or crypto, and if you ever want to cash out, SkinSwap makes it easy with instant sell to PayPal, Venmo, or crypto. They also run free daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, and every completed trade earns you extra chances to win. Use the link below to claim your free skin worth up to $50 and receive a 3% lifetime sales bonus. Thanks again to SkinSwap for supporting the channel. And I'm also going to set myself a little side quest. We're going to see if I can beat our prior time, which was 2 hours and 44 minutes. Let's go for it. Now guys, on a completely unrelated note to the trade ups, me and my partner are actually moving over to France in January. We currently live in Australia, we're both Australian. I've lived in France before. I actually lived in Italy for a little while when I was younger. Traveled quite a bit already, but seeing as there are a lot of Europeans who watch these videos, I need your suggestions, my friends. What is something I can organize, a place we should visit, a show we should see, a restaurant we should dine at? I need to plan something special for my partner's birthday next year. It might be a little early to reserve, but I like to be organized. So I need you to leave a comment. Oh, Glock Weasel. Haven't seen that in a long time, but I'm getting distracted. Please leave a comment. Anything to see, do, eat in Europe. I'd love to hear it. I love travel. I love exploring different cultures, different cuisine. I used to work in fine dining before I started yapping about skins full time. I also feel like waking up and then just going for like 3 hours straight of trade ups might not be the smartest decision. I stayed up late last night watching the Belgian Grand Prix. Absolutely love Spa. Killer racetrack. Speaking of Spa as well, and the fact that I mentioned we're moving overseas next year, definitely going to the Grand Prix there next year. I used to go to the Australian one a lot when I was younger. One of my uncles really into cars, and I liked to go along when I was probably 10. Then I kind of went off it for a couple of years, and then recently, probably for the last 12, 18 months or so, been back into it. It is unfortunate though, the race times are just awful for Australians. Sometimes they're not bad, like last night's one started at 11 PM, but a lot of them start at 3 AM, 5 AM, kind of like the World Cup games, to be honest. Just unfortunate. I'm giving away the brand new Glock Ghost Protocol in field tested this month. For your chance to win, simply like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I'll pick the winner August 31st. Good luck. I must say, I'm not a huge soccer fan overall. I mean, I used to play it when I was younger. I think I played, outdoor soccer for about 4 years. And then I actually much prefer futsal. I don't know, hot take there. I think it's also like, I think there's a couple of advantages to futsal. When you're playing, I think it's obviously a lot more exciting. You get a lot more time on the ball. For those who aren't familiar, futsal is essentially 5 versus 5 instead of 11 v 11. It's played indoors, or sometimes it's played outdoors, but it might be on an actual concrete court. For instance, it's often played on an indoor basketball court, actually. So that's kind of the size of the pitch. Much smaller goal as well, obviously, but a lot more intense. You can't slide tackle. Well, you could slide tackle if you wanted. You'd probably fuck your knees up nice with that, but wouldn't recommend it. But obviously a lot more action going on, even from a viewer perspective. I think it's more exciting. The games are a lot shorter as well, so not as much of a time commitment. But to be honest, every time the World Cup comes around, it's always a lot of fun. So I enjoy watching the highlights at least. I get behind a full match every once in a while, but I often toss up. Would I rather watch an hour and a half soccer match, or can I get in a game or two of Premier? And then I choose Premier, and then a spin botter comes and shits on me, and then I go, okay, should have watched a World Cup match instead. We are now 200 trade ups in, nearly at 50 minutes, so I'm not sure if I'm on track to beat my previous record, but we'll keep smashing them out. And we are approaching the final mil-spec trade-ups then. I'm excited to move on to the restricted contracts. Now, if I have done my calculation correctly, I should now have exactly 500 restricted skins. Look at that. We are about an hour and 45 minutes in, but it does actually get significantly faster from here on out. So let's go for that first restricted contract. Dreams and Nightmares. Unsurprising. Crane Flights. I do sometimes hit these skins and I'm like, I don't know, man, don't really want to put these into a contract, but back-to-back Crane Flight. Okay. But then at the same time, I'm clearly not doing this to try and make any money, because this is probably the best way to lose $1,000. Fuel injector. Very nice. What is this? Maybe... Oh, wait! The Nova is in. Okay. Glove... I keep thinking we've used all of our glove inputs, but no. Here it is. Mecha Industries, Shallow Grave, Wasteland Princess. Boom! Oh, coming in clutch. We have got a glove collection classified. The 10% coming through. Okay. 70% dead hand. Finish it off. A gamma, I think. I'd like to see the gamma. All right. That's another Crane Flight. Okay, this is where things start to get serious, my friends. This is what we are rolling with. We have ended up with 8 dead hand inputs, 9 fever inputs, 23 dreams and nightmare skins, and then a couple of stragglers here, but hopefully enough to get us one of the inputs from those collections I mentioned earlier. Okay, it's all happening here. I think we'll go 6 dreams and nightmares, maybe 2 dead hand, 1 chroma, 1 gamma. Here we go. First classified trade up. Queen's Gambit. Okay. Gonna put in some fever skins. We'll put in a couple of these dreams and nightmares. We will put in 5/7 monkey business and maybe the llama cannon. Covert trade up number 2. All right, that is the first dreams and nightmares input. Remember, I was expecting that we'd end up probably with 2 of those. So let's go 5 dreams and nightmares again. Chuck in a couple of dead hand here, a couple of fever as well. Another dead hand. Wow, okay. That is definitely above the odds. Only 15% of the mil-spec inputs were dead hand. So honestly, I was only expecting maybe one covert from that collection, but it's come through here. All right. 5 Abyssal Apparitions. Org Sid Mead, Famous Jin, and I guess we probably need to chuck in a couple of these Fever Collection skins as well. So let's see it. All right, Famous Bad Trip. Famous Bad Trip. We've got a nice mix. We've got a nice mix of inputs there. That is the Fever input I was also expecting. So we have actually only ended up with a 30% chance on the Dreams and Nightmares. So even doing 500 blue trade ups, there's enough variance in it that we haven't really hit the exact percentages. Then we've got 20% chance Fever, another 10% for the Dead Hand. And then look at this. This is a beautiful way to finish off 1 Gamma, 1 Chroma, 1 Spectrum, and 10% chance for the glove collection, the OG gloves, man. We got to do 1 console. This is a beautiful trade up. We could literally go anywhere. Actually, I'm going to cover up the left-hand side. I don't want to see the inventory. All right. We'll go from the top, and I'm not going to look at the left. I'm looking straight down the middle. What is this final input going to be? What is it going to be? Is that a Hyper Beast? M4 Hyper Beast? Chroma collection? Yes, it is. That is beautiful. All right. Look at that. That is a sick lineup. So I have put our 5 inputs into the trade up calculator here. Obviously, they all came out in field tested as expected, given I used field tested inputs. Of course, it says that this trade up costs $326. I guarantee you it cost a hell of a lot more than that. Already, this trade up is not profitable if you were to just go out and buy the inputs for yourselves directly. But as I said, I think I spent somewhere in the realm of $1,100 to $1,200. So we've already lost 70% of the value. Our best outcomes up here: Butterfly, Knife, Emerald. We've got the OG Gen 1 knives with the gem finishes, so some of the black pearls in there, rubies, sapphires. Man, there are a lot of sexy knives in this trade up. If I actually hit ultraviolet gloves right now, I've got a 1.8% chance of hitting the ultraviolet gloves. I wouldn't even make any money, given that I started with over $1,000. But hey, we'd break even, and I would be very, very content with that. So I would not complain whatsoever. But hey, last time around, I did this challenge. I literally hit the max loss. Surely that can't happen again, right? Surely not. Okay, 2 hours of my life gone for this trade up. $1,000 here on the line. It's so funny, like, I already knew before doing this, it's absolutely not worth it. But I don't know. It's a fun challenge, man. It's a fun challenge. If you've enjoyed watching as well, please leave a like, subscribe for more CS2 videos. Here it is, guys. The final gold trade up in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Butterfly Black Pearl. Dragon Fists. Ah, Driver Gloves, Dragon Fists. We hit the Dead Hand Collection. We actually hit the Dead Hand Collection. 15% chance going back to the mil specs. That's definitely not the worst outcome.
2 seconds later.
$110? Driver Gloves, Dragon Fists field tested? Surely not. Ah. I mean, they're better than Racing Greens. Let's be real. They are better than Racing Greens, but not much better. But hey, the one bit of good news is I did manage to beat my prior time. We're at 2 hours, 10 minutes, so actually smashed it out of the park 30 minutes quicker. If you want to see me do this again, try and beat my record for a second time, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, guys, and take care.